Ever get that feeling like you want to reach back
At
in time
last.
and touch history? I mean, really touch it.
Yeah.
Well, today we're going deep on something that lets us do just that. We're talking about a Roman gladiator's tomb unearthed in Italy
1,000 years ago.
Wow.
after 2,000 years.
That's incredible.
It's like those epic scenes from Gladiators are suddenly real, you know?
It really brings it to life.
It's not just a movie anymore. It's a
Yeah.
real person, a real life,
Exactly.
and a real death.
Yeah, and it makes you think
It does.
about the human story behind those spectacles.
So in this deep dive,
Yeah.
we're going to try to uncover the secrets of this discovery in Laternum.
Absolutely.
See what it tells us about gladiators, Roman society, and all those rituals around life and death.
And we're going right to the source for this one.
Oh, yeah.
Straight from the archaeological reports of the excavation.
Nice. So no secondhand interpretations?
Nope, just the raw data.
All right. So Laternum,
Yes.
it's in Campania, Italy,
Uh-huh.
and it wasn't just some tiny village.
Oh, no, not at all.
It flourished between the 1st century BC and the 3rd century AD.
A significant period.
That's what's so fascinating to me, you know?
What is that?
This is all happening during the Roman Republic, before the Empire, as we usually think of it.
It's a different world
So was life in the Republic different?
in many ways.
I mean, how did they view things like gladiatorial combat?
Well, the Republic had its own unique character,
Uh-huh.
and this discovery,
Yeah.
it gives us a glimpse into that period.
So tell me about this tomb.
Okay, so picture this.
Okay.
A 1,600 square foot necropolis.
Whoa, that's a huge
1600.
cemetery.
It is a city of the dead, basically.
And this tomb was right in the middle of it.
Exactly.
Wow. And the other tombs, they're described as elaborate.
Very elaborate.
So this wasn't some random burial.
No, this was a community
Right.
with established customs.
And resources?
Oh, absolutely.
Makes you think about who this gladiator might have been.
It does, doesn't it?
Someone important, maybe?
Possibly. We'll get to that.
Okay, well, speaking of importance,
Yeah.
the superintendents of archaeology,
Mm-hmm.
they made a pretty big deal about this, calling it extraordinary and a precious document.
They did, and you know what that tells me?
What?
This is a big deal to the experts.
So Dr. Simona Formola, she's leading the excavation.
She is.
She must be thrilled.
Oh, I bet she is.
I mean, how often do you find something like this?
Direct archaeological evidence
Yeah.
linked to gladiators.
Mm-hmm.
It's incredibly rare.
So what makes them so sure this tomb belonged to a gladiator?
Well, there's a few things.
Okay.
First, they found a marble funeral inscription
At the site.
right there at the site.
And what did it say?
It said that at least one gladiator was buried there.
But we don't know for sure if it was this specific tomb.
That's true. It's not confirmed.
But still, it's a pretty strong clue.
It creates a strong context.
It does, yeah.
Like, this wasn't just any cemetery.
Right.
This was a place where gladiators were known to be buried.
So what else is there?
There were also these two funerary enclosures,
Enclosures.
and they were decorated with fragments of plaster cladding.
Okay.
Originally white,
White.
but later decorated with red hues.
Red. That's interesting.
Yeah, colors were very symbolic in ancient Rome.
So what do you think the red meant?
Well, given the context,
Of gladiators?
yeah,
Uh-huh.
it could be a connection to the arena.
To the blood, the violence.
That's possible. Or maybe even victory.
Yeah, victory in the arena.
Red
Maybe-
wasn't just a color back then.
It was a symbol.
A powerful symbol.
A symbol of life and death all at once.
Exactly.
It makes you wonder about the person buried there.
It really does.
Who were they?
We don't know their name.
How old were they?
We don't know their age.
Did they die in the arena?
That's the big question, isn't it?
It is.
Gladiatorial combat was brutal,
Oh, yeah.
often
Yeah,
ending in
that's what-
death or severe injury.
It's just like in the movies.
Right.
It's easy to forget that was real life for these people. But we can't rule out other causes of death either.
That's true.
Maybe he retired
You could have.
or died from an illness.
Or an accident.
Right. Anything is possible.
Until we have more evidence.
Speaking of evidence, what about this very deep masonry well?
The well.
The reports mention it,
It's near the tombs.
and they say it might be significant.
Culturally significant.
What do you make of that?
Well, think about it.
Okay.
A deep well
Uh-huh.
right next to a gladiator's tomb.
It's got to mean something.
That's a
It
question
does.
for you
What
below.
could it be?
Comment it.
It could be a sign of ritualistic practices.
Rituals.
Yes, and there's a connection here
To what?
to the Roman cult of Asclepius,
Asclepius.
the god of medicine.
Oh, wow. So healing.
Exactly. And there was this belief
Yeah.
that gladiators' blood had healing properties.
Really?
It's fascinating, isn't it?
It is.
especially during times of plague.
So they would use gladiator blood in healing rituals.
It's a possibility.
What do you think on
Wow,
this?
that's a pretty intense image.
It is, isn't it?
These brutal warriors
Yeah.
connected to healing.
It's a strange juxtaposition.
It makes you think about how they saw the world back then.
It does. It challenges our assumptions.
So these gladiators,
Yes.
they weren't just entertainers.
Well, they were that, of course,
Uh-huh.
but they may have held a more complex role.
Like a sacred role.
It's possible.
So let's talk about Laternum itself.
Okay.
It was a pretty happening place, right?
It was a vibrant community.
They had a forum,
Uh-huh.
a temple,
Of course.
a basilica,
Naturally,
even a small theater,
it had it all.
and, importantly, an amphitheater.
That's key.
I mean, that can't be a coincidence.
It suggests that gladiatorial combat was happening right there in Laternum.
Not just in Rome.
Right. It was a local thing.
So our gladiator could have fought and died in his own town.
It's possible.
That makes it even more real, you know?
It does. And you know what else is interesting?
But
We don't know that much about Laternum during the Republic.
so this discovery,
It fills in some of the gaps.
it's like a puzzle piece.
Exactly.
And it's not just about this one gladiator.
No, it's about the whole community.
The necropolis with all its tombs and structures,
It gives us a window into their daily lives,
their rituals.
their social dynamics.
Mariano Nusso, the site superintendent,
Uh-huh.
he seems pretty excited about it.
He is, and for good reason.
Why is that?
Well, a necropolis like this,
Yeah.
it's a gold mine of information.
What kind of information?
Well, the different types of tombs,
Okay.
the inscriptions,
Uh-huh.
any artifacts they find.
Yeah.
All of that tells us about their social status,
Really?
their religious
It's
beliefs,
fascinating.
even their family structures.
Wow, so it's like a snapshot of the past.
Exactly, frozen in time.
So to sum up,
Yes,
this discovery is huge.
it is.
It's not just about gladiators.
Yeah.
It's about Roman society as a whole.
It's about how they lived, how they died, and what they believed.
And it reminds us
Of what?
that the past was a real place.
With real people,
People just like us.
but also very different from us.
That's the beauty of it.
So what should we take away from all this?
Well, first of all,
Yeah.
don't underestimate the gladiators.
They were more than just fighters.
Exactly. They were part of a complex social and religious system.
And Laternum.
Yes.
It was a microcosm of Roman life.
With its own stories to tell.
Stories that we're only just beginning to uncover.
That's what's so exciting.
Here's something to think about. You know,
Okay.
how could a society that loved such brutal entertainment,
Gladiatorial combat.
yeah, also have such complex religious beliefs and rituals?
Good question.
It makes you wonder about the contradictions of human nature.
It does.
And maybe, just maybe,
Yeah.
we're not so different from them.
That's a thought-provoking idea.
It is, isn't it? It is. So keep exploring Roman history.
And archaeology.
You never know what you might find.
You never know.
And that's the beauty of it.
Absolutely.
It's all about discovery.
That's what keeps us going.
It does. It really does.
I can't wait to see what they find next.
Me too.
In Laternum.
And beyond.
Exactly.
It's a big world out there.
Full of mysteries.
Just waiting to be uncovered.
Waiting for us.
And that's where we're all about.
Deep diving into the past.
Bringing it to life.
One discovery at a time.
Until
Thanks.
next time.
See you then.